The love that is your true nature can no longer be concealed. November 4, 2014. Enormous changes are afoot. All across the world, your world, Gaia, the attitudes of the collective are continuing to soften as the tsunami of love flows around you, enveloping and embracing you, while further intensifying in every moment. It is totally irresistible because it is bringing to your awareness your real nature, your oneness with God in the infinite abundance of His energy field which, as you have been told so often, and as you know deep within yourselves, is love. There is only love. Anything else that seems to be or to exist is unreal, illusory, and is decaying. The illusion is only maintained by your collective intent and effort, and that intent is steadily weakening, as is the strength of your collective effort to continue maintaining it, as more and more of you focus on being only loving, because you are realizing that nothing else works. Humanity has just come through a vast shift in awareness due to that realization, and you will not now be able to fall back into your old and unloving ways that have for eons brought so much confusion and anxiety into your lives. The love that is your true nature can no longer be concealed under a cloak of darkness, because the glory of its brilliance is dissipating or dissolving the dark cloak. Since entering into the illusion and engaging with it, you have always sought love, but until recently you were not really aware of this because the illusion hid from you the nature of love, your true nature, instead offering you a very minimal form of acceptance or approval if you accepted the rules of the game, every man for himself. You have to be strong to survive, expect the weak to perish, which you did. And rules like that have, needless to say, brought humanity untold pain and suffering over the eons. The tsunami of love was set in motion by your intense desire to move away from conflict, betrayal, and suffering, a desire that had been building for a long time and which has greatly intensified since the end of the Great War, World War I, which many hoped, as they observed the incredible cost in human life and misery, would finally bring an end to all wars. It did not. However, the intense and lasting misery it did bring to so many led to a major reassessment within the human collective of attitudes about judging right from wrong, and since then awareness of the destructive insanity of the intense need to be right to which so many cling has been growing. It may seem that this awareness is lacking in far too many places and situations, but previously, before the start of the 20th century, many were absolutely convinced of the rightness of their own beliefs as opposed to the beliefs that others embraced, and of the behaviors that accompanied those beliefs. Beliefs that most of you now view with amazement because you live in an age where the granting and maintaining of human rights for all are expected to be honored worldwide. This understanding is very recent, and of course there are still far too many places where this honoring does not occur. Nevertheless, most on earth are aware that each human without exception should have access to adequate clean water, food, and shelter. This was not the case less than 100 years ago. Great progress has been made in a very short space of time. So, while remaining constantly aware of the injustices that are being perpetrated daily all across the world, do not focus your attention there, instead focus on love, and on the wonderful results that loving individuals all across the planet are achieving as they constantly demonstrate love in action in their daily lives. Remember, you bring into your lives that on which you focus your attention, the so-called law of attraction. It matters not whether it is something you desire or something you most definitely do not desire, it just brings to you that on which you focus most of your attention, because that is its purpose, to respond to your thoughts and bring them to fruition. You live either with love in your hearts and in your consciousness, or fear. Fear has been endemic for eons, it is a survival issue for many that is constantly being replenished. Now, however, many are letting it go and embracing love. You could all do that in an instant, but the fear has become so heavily ingrained that you mostly choose not to, and move into being trusting and loving very cautiously, step by step, because you have so many memories of betrayal. But the intent to love has now been firmly established, and fear is on the way out. As more and more of you choose to let go of fear and open your hearts to the vulnerability of love, you are discovering that love works, and that the vulnerability of love is in fact its greatest strength. In the presence of love, fear dissolves. All of humanity is enveloped in the tsunami of love because it is all-encompassing, and the major changes that is causing can be seen all across the world. Humanity is moving very rapidly towards awakening into its natural and fully conscious state, the state of oneness and love in which you were all created. Do not allow yourselves to be alarmed by the various mainstream news media reports of catastrophes and disasters, nor by their suggestions of the grave possibility of further impending disasters of even more catastrophic proportions. Alarm should be but a momentary experience if you become aware of some personal threat to life or limb, so that you can take immediate and appropriate action to avert the danger that threatens. A state of constant fear or alarm is most unnatural and serves only to drain your energy. It is a method the dark uses to maintain control of people, and it only works if people allowed themselves to be so intimidated. You are, each and every one of you, love incarnate. You have, for eons, chosen not to be aware of this, but now is the moment to open your awareness to your true nature, as many of you are indeed doing. Go within, to your quiet inner space, your holy sanctuary where the light of your love burns eternally. Open your hearts to the constant warmth that it offers you, and delight in the knowing that it reveals to you as you welcome it and allow it to suffuse you, bringing you a most wonderful sense of peace, safety, and contentment, a sense that nothing within the illusion can ever provide. You are all divine beings on your way home. You are very, very close. So rejoice in that knowledge that God's love for you brings you whenever you turn your full attention towards Him and allow yourselves to rest there. Your loving brother, Jesus. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman2.wordpress.com